Proceed. Good evening. It's January 25th and it is 7 p.m. I would like to call the Public Safety and General Government Committee of the Common Council to order. This evening, we have in attendance Councilmember Goldstein, Councilmember Sutton, Councilmember Frere, Councilmember Seed, and myself. Do we have anybody here for public participation?
We do not.
Wonderful. So I will open and close public participation. We will be drama-free this evening, hopefully. Can I have a motion? We need to accept the minutes. Can I have a motion for that, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Frere. Does anybody have any changes or corrections to the minutes from last month? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All of those in favor as stand, please raise your hand or say aye. Thank you so much. Any of those opposed or abstain? Thank you. Mr. Goldstein abstains. Great. We're moving right along. We have two items today that are both related. So I'm going to actually read them together. These are both from the police department. Number one is authorize Mayor Harry W. Rilling to execute any and all documents and agreements necessary to enter into a field trial agreement with Axon. And number two is authorize Chief of Police James Walsh to execute any and all documents, agreements, instruments, and amendments thereto as may be necessary to implement the field trial agreement program with Axon. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Goldstein. So like I said, they have, the police have, unfortunately or unfortunately, they have a awards ceremony that they hold every month. And this is the evening that that's happening. And so I don't know that they'll be able to jump on, but if we are still in session and they can, hopefully they can answer any questions. But I will, of course, if there are any questions, bring them back to the police. I'm going to read what Deputy Chief Lepore wrote to me. One second. Sorry. So I'm going to read to you the information that Deputy Chief Lepore sent to me, and then I'll try to answer any questions if there are any. So she said, this is an addition to the system that we are currently in a 5-year contract with, which runs our body-worn camera, dashboard camera, signal sidearm activations, and TASER software system. We are asking to demo 2 other software components which Axon offers. One component being the auto tagging. The system automatically enters the identifying numbers, officer's identification, and case information right into the iCloud storage system for videos. This will help alleviate untagged videos and the manpower spent researching and tagging the unaccounted for ones. Currently, we have about 2,500 untagged videos. This number fluctuates and has been up to 4,500 if we don't keep up with it. The second component is called performance. This software automatically can run or compliance audits, which are required as part of the Police Accountability Act. This software will allow us to identify officer usage and non-usage percentages. It randomly identifies case numbers for compliance checks of video, along with real-time numbers, on-call categories, and video counts. These 2 softwares would be very beneficial in alleviating manual hours spent searching, tagging, correcting, collecting, auditing, and accounting for videos and reporting requirements. So that was a lot of information. Does anybody have any questions? And I will try to answer them. Otherwise, I will forward them on to our Deputy Police Chief. Yes, Mr. Goldstein.
I mean, what it sounds like is this would make the FOI process substantially easier.
Yes.
My question, and I'm anticipating that Greg would ask a question like this, which is, how long is the trial agreement? And then is there a dollar component to this in perpetuity?
Yes. So I don't know the answers to that, but I can find out for you for sure. I just want to pull up the documentation really quick though, just so we have it in front of us, because maybe I missed it. Just give me 1 second. And normally, if there is a cost associated with it, we would have that in the action item. So I'm assuming no, but I don't want to assume anything, of course.
I'm just anticipating, say, the trial agreement lasts for a year or 6 months, and then they're going to say, oh, we really like this, and Axon's going to say, well, great, we're very glad you like it, and now it's going to cost an extra X.
So from what I can read in the backup, and again, I'm just presuming this from the backup, that we are 6 months into a 5-year contract with Axon, and it looks like we're just tacking this on to that contract. And it doesn't seem like there is a cost associated with it, but I will double check that with Deputy Chief Lepore to be sure.
Thank you.
It's a good question.
And thank you, Josh. I kind of, when I was going over the agenda, I kind of heard Councilman Burnett's voice asking that same question.
I don't know if that's good or bad, Mr. Seed. No,
I-
I think it's a good thing.
I probably would have asked the same question.
Yeah.
No, but the thing that I just want to be careful about is that they say, okay, you can use it. It's just like one of those, any software you get nowadays is you can, or any subscription you get a 30-day free trial, and unless you tell everybody to stop, you start getting billed for it. That's the only concern that I would have about this.
The way I've read this agreement when we first approved it, and if this is just in fact tacked onto it, we do have to extend the contract after the 5-year mark. They'll have to come back to us and say, yes, we want to proceed with this contract still and this company, or we want to change to another company, and then they'll bring that to us as an action item. But I will double check that as well.
I guess the other question would be that why are we just testing this now? If we're only into this thing for 6 months.
I'm assuming this is a newer technology that they're offering now. So it's part of the same package. It's just they have like add-ons that they come up with every once in a while.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're only in this thing for 6 months, it takes a lot longer than 6 months to roll out new technology. I would have thought that they could say, when we signed the original contract, was it a 5-year contract we signed? Or is it
5-year
1
contract
year?
we signed, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the company started 6 months ago. They've been developing software for longer than that. So they could have been developing it and now they're rolling it out.
No. What I meant was that we are 6 months into a 5-year contract, it says.
Mhm.
So we only just started with these guys, this contract 6 months ago.
Correct.
So if they're giving us they're giving us, I mean, it doesn't make any difference one way or the other. But I'm just curious if they're into this thing right now, that they're testing it. Is it just everybody's testing it, or is this a test that we're doing for them to like beta test it, or is this another function that it would be part of our overall contract?
I think it's another function that would be part of our overall contract that we didn't know about before or wasn't offered before for whatever reason. And I can find out why that reason is, if that helps.
Also, Jen, I would
Yeah.
imagine we've had a prior relationship with Axon before this 5-year contract.
I believe we did, but if you remember correctly, and I think it was Mitsubishi, was it Mitsubishi? I don't remember which contract or what company it was, but we also had like the state communications program that we were shifting over
Yes.
from as well that we had voted on. So, but yeah, I would assume we had a previous relationship with them. I just don't know how far back it goes, but I can ask. Any other questions?
Just let's find out what the money side of it is. That's all.
Yeah. So my question then is, do we feel comfortable voting on it without the answers to that, since Deputy Chief Lepore is not here, or would you like me to find that out and we can table it until the full council next meeting?
I have no problem pulling this, sending this to the full council, and that so long as there's an answer to this question by,
I'll have it tomorrow morning. She gets in.
yeah, I mean, since
a.m.
before that meeting, that
She
should
may
be
even answer
sufficient.
tonight.
So,
Yeah, I think it's just informational, really. I don't see that we would say, no, it's going to be $59 a month more, so we don't want it. I don't think it's that. I think it's just for full, full.
I would also imagine that Chief Walsh is going to make an argument, and probably successfully, to say that the software, if it works, is going to save us money, and it's going to save us, labor hours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, labor costs for sure. I do know that this has
Yeah.
been an ongoing problem for them, like in the case that, and you heard the numbers, I mean, there's 2,500 untagged videos happening, in our inventory right now, our library right now. And so somebody has to go back in, tag them, make sure that they're correctly tagged. And all the information is there that they would need for FOIA or an investigation or whatever else they might use it for. So,
I think it's just full disclosure that, you know, it's not costing us anything. It's going to cost us $5, $10, whatever it is. Just,
of course.
and I don't think it's going to change our vote.
Okay, sounds good. Well, are there any other questions before I move for the vote then? I will make sure I get you all those answers. I'll send it to the entire committee. I will either get those tonight or first thing tomorrow morning because she's usually in the office very early. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hands. Any opposition? Nope, it is an unanimous. So with that, we have no discussion items, but I do want to tell you that probably in the next month's meeting, I am going to have both Chief Walsh and Chief Gatto come and just speak to some of their budget requests for this year in more detail and in depth than we would normally just get in the packet, and just kind of answer any questions you might have as we go into budget season. And of course, if there's anything else you would like them to address, please let me know ahead of time so we can add that to the agenda. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Frere. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Shortest meeting ever, 11 and a half minutes.
Good
Have
night,
a
everyone.
wonderful night, you
You are-
guys.
You are just so good.
Good night.
Yeah, right.
a
Take
good
care,
night.
everyone. Bye.